Well, hi guys, hopefully this finds you very well. My name's Paul, this is Plan Zed, and welcome to this little session where it's a part 2 to a part 1 that was rudely ended because the adapter that connects my audio to the phone had a problem. So I thought I was recording and I wasn't recording, so I posted the unboxing and connecting so you can kind of see raw in the moment how it happens. I record all my sessions live so you can see if I have problems or what have you. Anyway, what I did do in what I thought I was doing in that video I'm going to show you in this video, I want to explain to you, if you're new though, what I've done. I've connected a Meatbox DOD Meatbox Sub synth in the send returns of my GT-1000. We've got this patch here and this patch here. You'll notice the name's changed there. Lots of you can't see me pressing the buttons to change it because I want you to see the screen in a moment. So we've got two patches, one Meatbox, one a template. Now this template, I want to do a separate video, closer screen view of GT-1000 of how I've set this patch up. I did a video about 14 weeks ago or so, and I've updated this patch. I'm much preferring the results, and I want to do another video on that, but the subsynth arrived, so I want to try this out. So this patch, I'm going to play a loop in a moment where we're going to hear this patch, and then when I change the bass line, we're going to hear what I've got set up in here on the Meatbox. So I've got my bass in my hand at the moment. Okay, that's my bass tone. Here's with a Meatbox. Okay, but I've put some effects in there as well. I want to talk to you about what I changed, but first let's hear the impact just introducing this and some effects into my mix does. So we'll start out hearing the loop. If I get this right with my feet, hang on. So this will be familiar. I've got this jam, I'm doing a couple of versions of it to see what I can do. At the end of the round, I'll change the bass line. Okay, completely changed the vibe of the track. This is really nice. This is more my vibe. I'm going to change the bass line again slightly. I'm going to put some reverb on it. Let's get rid of those beats. Let's change the bass line again. That sounds fat in here. The sub sounds really nice. I really like the synthy quality I'm getting, and I've added to it. Let's just bring that to a close. So I'm going to come into the patch. What I've done, I want to flag a few things with this. Let's get into the one that's got the Meatbox in it. So if you get a Meatbox, I just want to flag with you. Common settings with the old one were to crank everything, but everyone was blowing speakers, and this one's slightly hotter than the original, as I understand it, okay? And what I've noticed is if you get the volume pointed up towards the corner here, yeah, is quite a good starting point. Crank the subs for a fully wet tone, and then when you crank the sub here, if you go for cranking the sub and the low at the same time, when you do this, you've got to be really careful. There's a dip point. I'm going to try showing you what I mean by that. I've got that where I want it, but if I go just a touch further, oh no, I'm going to pull it back, turn it up. You can hear it crackling, it's too much. So I just pull it back a touch. Okay, and then it's under management, and it's the same with the sub one. If you push it just that little bit too far, and we're talking just a few millimeters, maybe 5 millimeters from the actual end, you'll feel it. When you turn it around, there's a slight change, and it's just a touch too much. But then here it's just sitting really nicely. Now what I've done is in this patch, the first bass line we heard, the first bass line we heard was clean. And in here, when I'm splitting the signal path, I've got all the frequencies below 315 Hertz coming into this bottom channel. Everything above going up into the top channel where I've got a DI and an amp. And then I've got the DI for the sub frequencies down here. But in the first patch, I've got the low cut in here, so I'm out of the way of the subs of any sub and the kick drum. So I've got my low cut here at 63, something like that. I'm still cutting 125 Hertz on a Q of 2 -6, get well out of the way of the drums. And I'm pushing on the widest Q 6 dB of 100 Hertz, okay, into a compressor. I'm going to do a deeper dive into this patch, but I just wanted to sound check and finish off my little unboxing. So coming out of there, what I did was I copied the patch, and we've automatically got the sub-synth in this patch. And the only change I've made is in this EQ here, I've brought the low cut down from 63 or whatever it is down to 25. So we're now capturing the sub frequencies that this is pushing. This sub knob is pushing somewhere around 35 Hertz, 30 Hertz, somewhere around there towards, I think it's a funny number. And this one is pushing about 50 Hertz. Okay, so I want to capture that area there. So I've brought the low cut down to 25. I could, if it was too much, just notch it up a touch, but I think that'll be enough until I put a mastering on it. And then here I'm doing the same thing with 125, so nothing's changed there. But I've moved the bump from 100 Hertz to 50 Hertz. Okay. Now, if I wanted to tighten that up, I might want to look at that low cut, but that's the only change I made to the patch, and I turned the sub-synth on. Okay, so if let's stay in that view for a moment, and change the mode here. And so to create the sound, what I've done, and I'll when I do the closer view settings, I'll go into a bit more depth with you. But I've got the DI, the amp, and the sub channel on. Okay, the sub-synth is here at the front of the chain, coming into everything. But the path that's feeding the DI and the amp, I've got an auto wire there. We'll look at those settings in another video. Then down here, after the amp, I've got a chorus, okay, coming on here, and a side chain where I've got some reverbs. So we just put some chorus on that. Now, if we add a bit of distortion, I've put the distortion on the amp channel. It's nice, it's really cool. So I'm really enjoying having this. And what I'll do is I'll do a little shootout. It's very different to using the Boss Octaver, because the Boss Octaver is digital. And in there, for me, you can really feel that it's digital, and it's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's great for creating synth tones, but I wanted to get a bit of analog in my bass tone, and this really helps with that. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. This sounds fat, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is, just before I end the session, I'm just going to come out of there. I'm just going to mute that channel. Just going to set the looper up. So what it's going to do is it's going to play around with the first bass line without the sub-synth, and then around with the sub-synth. And then what I'll do is I'll do another video where I pull the sub-synth around, we look at the settings and what it does on its own. We'll change at the end of this round. That's freaking cool. Yeah, in the room, that sounds fantastic. Hopefully that translates well on YouTube. I'm sorry my video messed up. What a donut. Anyway, I'll catch you a little bit later. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Next videos will be on guitars and other videos deeper diving into this. I'll catch you later. Bye.